I know I've been on a Divorce Diaries rant for quite a while now, but I just want to take a break to just remind you about this podcast and how I record it. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast everywhere. Seriously. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, that's anchor.fm to get started, or download the Anchor app.
This guy is nuts. Is he really making daily recordings of his possible divorce and releasing it as a podcast? They both cheated on each other. She's making six figures and still doesn't contribute to any joint endeavors financially. Why is she still with him? Why is he still with her? I can't wait for the next episode. This helped me be a better wife. So this is how men think. I hate my husband less now. I understand my wife more now. These are some of the listener comments to the Divorce Diaries podcast. All over the map, I know. These anonymous accounts of events should resonate with anyone that has been married, is married, or is preparing for marriage, and helps couples avoid pitfalls as they might prepare for marriage. Entire seasons are released on Patreon weeks before anywhere else at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Link in description. Now for today's episode.
I've realized something that I do that isn't great. I take things out on people that don't deserve it because I'm not able to fully accept and deal with and distance myself from the toxicity of my wife. And then I become toxic back to my wife. Then I become toxic to what now I'm understanding is my kids have been my sort of my whipping post, or they've been the ones that hey Siri, start outdoor workout. Sorry, I'm just trying to stay fit. So I'm taking this walk. And that's just another thing. I don't know if anybody really understands that, but trying to be as productive as you can, as often as you can, is the best thing, and it's really been helping me sort of try to get through this nonsense that is my life right now. But I know now that I've had to give a big apology to one of my kids because I treated her really badly because of the anger that I had toward my wife. And I had to make these similar apologies to my son because of the anger that I had toward my wife. I'm not blaming my wife for my mistreatment of my kids. I'm acknowledging that, man, I'm a really, really shitty person because I'm the person that, because you're hurting, you lash out at other people. That's the type of person that I am. I really got to talk about this and work this part out in therapy for myself, because I understand where it comes from. I understand that that's what my parents sort of did with me, for me, to me, whatever. And that's what I am modeling. We take things out on the people that don't deserve it. I'm the equivalent, I guess, of someone that comes home and they kick their dog because the dog greets them at the door with love. The dog runs to them and the dog is so happy to see them. And they just wanted to walk straight in, go to the refrigerator, grab a beer, sit down on the couch and not be bothered. And because the fucking dog runs up to you with nothing but love, you're like, get the fuck away from me, and you kick the dog because you need someone to take your anger and frustration out on. And that's what I must have needed. I needed someone to take my frustration out on, and it was my children. Like, seriously, here's the horrible stuff that I did. I learned that in a very long marriage and relationship with my wife, over 20 some years, that my wife would talk to our kids, our one child, our daughter, about things that happened from her perspective back when we were very, very young kids. Then when I learned that she talked to her about that, I got so upset because I said to myself, how could you talk about that to our kid? And how could you leave out everything that you did during that time? Are you trying to make me look bad? So I internalized that. Then that was the anger that I had and resentment toward my wife. And to make matters worse, my daughter then went and told my youngest kid, who really had no reason to hear the hearsay. So then I said, wow, I'm your dad and you're just going to get so mad at me, and how dare you betray me, and how horrible you are for telling your little sibling that. Like, how dare you? What? Does everyone just think I'm this big piece of shit? Why is everyone believing this story from my wife? Why does everyone think that I would just do such a thing without any motivation? You all just think I am this bad guy. You all think I'm this horrible person. Is anyone going to really consider the fact and think about the fact that I am a little bit more than what you think I am? Can anyone really understand that? Does anyone really get it? Does anyone really care? Holy shit, no one cares about me. You guys really think that I could just be so callous. That was me. I'm just fucking butthurt. I'm just butthurt. This is what I was doing. I'm butthurt at my wife for fucking me over and talking about, not just me, my wife fucking over our kids and telling them half stories or slanted stories about what happened with us in our relationship. And so I felt slighted. I felt disrespected. I felt that, damn, here you go again. You're just not honest. And now you've infected the kids. It's weird because I'm like, if you're going to tell them the story, tell them all of it. Tell them the things that you did. Or don't involve the children in our relational issues and situations. Don't do that. But if you are, don't do it from only one side or unfairly or halfway. Don't do that. But I guess I had an expectation that, hey, morally, don't you understand? This is wrong. Morally, this is wrong. Either she didn't understand it was wrong, or she didn't care that it was wrong. Either she didn't understand it was wrong, or she didn't care that it was wrong. Either she didn't understand it was wrong, or she didn't care that it was wrong. And I just slipped a little bit. I just slipped a little bit back into the way that when you're the victim of narcissistic abuse, which I'm finding out that I am, you tend to blame yourself, which is what I've done and have been doing. Well, maybe if we never did break up when I was a young teenager, maybe the two of us wouldn't have started talking to and dating and seeing other people. And then if we never broken up, then if that never happened, then, she would have never had anything to share. If that never happened, maybe then we would have been in a better place. And maybe then my youngest kid wouldn't be asking me about something that I did back in high school, 20 years before she was ever born. Oh my gosh. What in the world? Am I in the Matrix is what I was thinking. And I was just so angry that my wife brought this on my life. But she didn't really bring anything on my life. She didn't really do that. Early on in our relationship, when my wife chose to be with another guy, other men, before we got married, why did I not break up with her? Why? What's wrong with me has nothing to do with her. When I met her and she had a boyfriend and she sort of kind of started with me before she totally ended it with him, and the fact that I had to ask her, hey, are you guys definitely broken up? Yeah, we are. Just the fact that she wasn't forthcoming to tell me that, why didn't I consider that a disqualifier for a long-term relationship? What level of depletion was I in? How thirsty a person was I to be with her? What's wrong with me? Why do I always displace things? Why did I displace my anger toward my wife or my kids? Why do I do it? Well, I guess the first step was me just admitting that it's something that I do, and hopefully a therapist will have something for me, because what's wrong with me? What's wrong with us as humans that we continue to do and deal and accept this shit from people? What is it? What is it about us? I don't know. I don't understand myself, but at least I understand that I don't understand myself, so that I can just take steps to try to get to understand myself. Yeah, this is a divorce diary entry of epiphany. You gotta know who you are so that you can know where you're going and see where you've been and why you were ever there to begin with. It's hard. Growth, self-development, it's hard.
Wow! That was the Divorce Diaries podcast. The Daily Saga will continue tomorrow. The full season's episodes are on Patreon now. Subscribe for early access. Click the Patreon link in the description. Hopefully, these entries help our anonymous recorder as a form of his own personal therapy. That's his hope and his intention. Will these recordings of life's curveballs lead this family to the best resolution in the end? We'll keep listening. New episodes are released daily on all podcast players, but all episodes are available on Patreon at Divorce Diaries Podcast Patreon page. Until next time.